Alexa, off. Good morning. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday morning. Just trying to get all the things up and running. Looks like my Facebook Live isn't quite going yet. Just gonna grab my stamp set here, since I think that's one thing I forgot to grab. I'm getting ready this morning. There it is. All right. Oh, good. It looks like my Facebook Live has started so that I can be on both platforms. Give me a thumbs up if you're here. I know it's kind of early and it wasn't really a planned, but I just was like, I need to get these done, so I understand if nobody pops on. So let's go ahead and get started. Boy, it seems like everything is just kind of scrolling. So hopefully it works out. I know that I have a delay. So like I said, I am behind. So March Hostess Club, we use the Gumball Greetings, and oh my gosh, this set is so much fun. So these are the two cards that we made. This one, I used a little of the Crystal Effects glitter on my gumballs to make them shiny. I don't know if you can see that in the camera there. And then this one, I used a combination of the gumball shaker beads and gumballs inside the shaker dome. So both real fun cards to make. Not too stressful. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with this card first. And I'm going to just set it up here to kind of watch as I go. So we have all of our little pieces and parts in our envelope. And we're going to get started with a couple things right out of the gate. So first thing we're going to take, so I embossed this with the 3D embossing brick folder. Gotta love that. I just love how it just made a nice accent for the background of this card. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this right here on the front. So I really hope that this video is going to turn out, because I'm trying to watch it on YouTube and I'm trying to watch it on Facebook. And not a lot's going on in either one. It seems like they're buffering. So, but on my recording program for my videos, it seems to be working out okay. All right, so this piece here that you have is 4 by 4 1/4. And we're going to make the little box part. So this part here that goes on our card. And so we're going to need to score that. And we're going to score it at a 1/2 inch. So I need to move my dark blade out of the way. I'm going to score it at a 1/2 inch. And so I measured a 1/2 inch on this side. And I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to score it at 1 1/2 inches. At 2 1/2 inches. And 3 1/2 inches. Okay. And again, this is the 4-inch side along the top. Okay. And while this is flat, I am going to glue my striped piece right on the middle. Okay, because that's where it's going to end up anyway. Okay. And this was from the Valentine DSP. All right, I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to burnish all of the edges, just like so. Okay. So that's how it's going to look. We're going to glue these 2 flaps onto the base of our card. And so I'm going to start with just 1 flap at a time. And I'm going to line up this first flap. It's the bottom. Fold it over, and I'm going to line it up just even with the bottom. And I'm going to hold it for just a second because I am using liquid glue. And it takes a second for it to dry. Maybe have a drink of my coffee. Now I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to fold it like this. So my striped piece is down on the bottom so that when I put the glue on, I can fold it over like this and it'll look like that, but then it'll pop out nicely, okay? Because you want it to be able to fold nicely to fit into the envelope. So it's very important that you work with all the folds when you're assembling this card so that it will fold nicely no matter what. Okay, and then there's our pop-up piece, just like that. So when we set our card up, it looks like that. Okay. All right, so let's look and see what other pieces we have before we get too far into this. And I'm going to grab my little dish here. It's got some sticky things in there, but I know that this, and beware, this has a lot of tiny little pieces. So you're going to want to make sure you have, when you dump these pieces out, a safe place to put all these pieces. All right, so we have this piece here, and this is cut with the die, and it has the little opening. See there? And I'm going to grab my glue mat, and I'm going to start with that piece, so then that piece will be done. And I'm going to take this piece here, and this is just gives you a 3D element. So it's just tone on tone, a little pop-up. Going to add just a tiny, tiny bit of glue. Okay, tiny, tiny bit. And go ahead and set that down there. There we go. Just like that. Then we have this piece here that will go along the bottom edge. So I'm going to actually just put glue, a nice thin line of glue. And, you know, as an afterthought, I thought, man, I should have cut all of these pieces out on our sticky paper. You know, put the sticky paper on the back, die cut it, and then all of these wonderful pieces would have been stickers. All right, so this piece here, we're going to use this. We're going to glue it right on the back so that when you look through the hole, it's red on red, okay? So I'm not going to glue over the hole. I'm just going to put some glue around the hole on the back and glue that down. Okay, so there's that. Okay, now I have this silver piece, and oh, I did put a brad in here for you. All right, I want the silver piece, and here's the little handle. Okay, and I'm going to take just my foam mat here so that I can poke my hole through both pieces. Okay, I'm going to line that up where I want it, and I'm going to take my piercing tool, and I'm going to put a hole through both pieces. Okay, there we go, nice little hole there. Then I'm going to take my brad, I'm going to stick my brad through the first piece and then through the second piece, and then on the back I'm going to open it, and then that way my little handle turns. How cute is that? All right, now I'm going to take a little bit of foam tape because I felt like this should be popped up, and I keep my foam tape on a huge roll, so because I do a lot of shakers and stuff. I'm going to cut this thin, and I'm going to put a piece along the bottom and a piece along the top. Now you'll notice there is a little slit, and that is because the die set and the stamp set come with a little nickel, okay, that you could potentially put in that little slit. We are not doing that on this card, but that's what it's there for, okay? All right, so, and you'll notice that there's a little slit here where you could line those up. I'm not going to worry too much about lining those slits up because, well, I'm not sticking anything in it, but just so you know, you have that option. And there is the front of my adorable gumball machine. Now I'm going to take this piece here, and I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm just going to cut straight up from the bottom on both sides. And the reason I'm doing this is because this piece is going to need something to glue on to the back, right? But I obviously don't need all this extra. So then I'm going to cut around the edge of my dome. And I didn't die cut this because you only want the edge. And I went a little higher because when I put my top on there, I'm going to have a little space to glue the lid to my shaker or to my dome. All right, so it's not beautiful. It doesn't have to be beautiful. Just nice on the edges. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put a little glue here on the bottom. And I'm going to glue that just like so. Okay? Now I'm going to take my lid out of my little container here, and I'm going to glue my lid on just like this. Okay? And you know, I'm on my silicone mat so that if any glue oozes, my project won't actually stick to it. Now, let's see. We have a couple pieces that need to go on this lid. So this piece here, so you have two super long pieces, and those are just trash. We're not actually going to use those. But you have this little fatter one, and it is the same width as your lid. So we're going to put just a little drizzle of glue along that edge. And then we're going to stick that down just like that. Now, in my little bowl, I have this little tiny red sliver. Yes, I know it is so tiny. The die is super tiny. This little piece is the sliver that goes on the top of your lid right here. Okay, see where that glue is? I'm going to grab my tweezers because I think it'll be easier to put that on with my tweezers. And the glue oozes a little bit. Thankfully, this glue dries clear. All right, and so there is my little dude. Or, well, not a little dude. It is what it is. All right, so those pieces are trash. Now I'm left with some gumballs. And I'm just going to put some glue dots around. And then I'm going to take my take your pick tool, which I just have it. I don't have it attached. And I'm just going to add, drop that in upside down. It's okay because I'm going to be putting crystal effects on it, but preferably I would like it facing up. All right, so there we go. Just put them randomly. In the glue. So the die cuts actually cut these out as groups of 3. Boy, I got a lot of the teal ones in this grab. And we'll put another teal one in there. Call it good right there. All right, so there is my little gumballs randomly placed. I do have a couple left, but I know that I'm going to use gumballs on the next card. And these ones are all teal, so maybe I'll use them on the next card. All right, next up, we will glue this on the center. Now, I'm flattening this bottom piece because when I put it down, when it's flat, it can't go over the top of the envelope. So I'm just going to put some glue along the bottom here and glue that down just like that. And then while that's down, I'm going to glue this sentiment, may your day be filled with all the best things, kind of over there. And then I'm going to lift my flap, and I can take a couple of these. I'm not going to use all of them because, well, they're mostly turquoise. I think I have turquoise and purple. But I have some other colors in the other bag, so I can definitely add another color when I get to, after I get to Project 2. Here's Project 2's bag. So I can dump Project 2 into my little bowl because I have gumballs and paper gumballs and little gumballs. Put my bag over there. Oh, look, there's a pink one, so we can add the pink one there. Oh, that was actually 2. Okay, and there we go. So now I can take my crystal effects if I can find it. Oh, there it is. And I'm just gonna scribble some on each of the gumballs to give them a little shininess. And then I'll set that aside to dry. All right, so that's our first card. How cute is that? Oh, I should add some bling. All right, so let's add some bling to this. One of each size, I believe, will be just perfect. And there we are. Our first card is complete. So we're going to set that. There's the original. There's the one I just did. Colors of your glue or gumballs may vary because I stamped them at many different times, so they might be just a little bit different. All right, so here we are. Let me know what y'all think. All right, I'm going to set those. This one is on top because it has to dry, and I'm going to set that over there. And I'm going to grab the pieces for my second card here. All right, we have all the things in here. Nothing else left in my envelope. Okay. So we are going to spend a little bit of time coloring my gumball machine. And on my original, I did my gumball machine in polished pink. Love that color. But I think this time I would like to do another color. So I think I'm going to go with this Mango Melody to bring out the yellow in the paper. So let's go ahead and grab my Mango Melody, and I'm gonna grab Gray Granite for this part. All right, so I'm gonna take my dark Mango Melody, and this is just to show you that you can really color these in any color you want. You know, they don't have to be the exact color. And this paper that I chose is from the Really Rainbow pack from